So generally, let's see here. All right, here's what we're going to do. I'll have to figure this out, but we'll figure it out together. Here we go. For stats people, what? Let's let's all right. Let's find the mean. Let's find the median. Let's find the mode. And let's find the standard deviation. All right. Let's find the mean, the median, the mode, the standard deviation. So, if you're in stats, I'm going to write this down. I'm going to write some problems for Precalculus, and then I'll come back and we'll work them together, okay? So, on your own, you're going to try to work the mean, the median, the mode, and the standard deviation. All right? If you're in Precalc, you got a test coming up. Let's start you off with this. If you're in Precalc, we're going to start you off with this. All right? We're going to start you off with, let's just real quick go back and review imaginary numbers. So let's go 8 minus 3i minus 4 plus 2i plus 6 minus 7i. Let's go there. Let's go 3 minus 2i squared. Let's go 3 minus 2i squared. Let's go 7i over 4 minus I. And let's divide that. All right. if you're in Precalculus and you're working from home, this is your set of problems. It is 8 minus 3i minus 4 plus 2i plus 6 minus 7i. The second problem is 3 minus 2i squared. The last problem is 7i over 4 minus I. What's wrong? What's that? Oh.
Mr. Professor, I don't know how to get the standard deviation without the calculator. And I know you said it was a rather long, complicated process to do it without the calculator and on paper. We're going to be using a calculator on the test.
Yeah.
It'll be a spare. Is there a spare in this room? No.
Nope. Let me see what I can do for you though. Do you not have one, or you just didn't bring it with you?
I just didn't bring it.
Well, I say this. That wasn't very smart. But I love you. And that's what matters. And what also matters is I'm willing to try to help you out. Give me a second.
Yes, sir.
Hello? What the hell? What the heck is that? Austin, just, I will help you though, hold on. If Deb is down there, I can get you one. If Deb's not down there, there's not a whole lot I can do for you. All right. We are making progress here. We are making progress now. What's up, Doc? All right, so I'm gonna go get a calculator.
Can you give me one?
Who else needs one?
I wasn't the only one.
Austin, you're just one who's brave enough to say it. All right, no, seriously, who needs one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Completely forgot about standard deviation being a bud.
I was trying to find a belt and Maddie's like, I'm here. And I was like, over there. It's your fault, Maddie. It's all
I didn't think we were gonna do actual math when I wrote it here. Talk, I don't know. The standard deviation is 3.4, by the way. She's the one that brought through this and I don't know it. You're welcome. Yeah, like I thought we were gonna do like motivated on a live stream. We're gonna like just talking.
Dude, I had to call in like 4 neighbors for this, just so you know. I mean, I don't want you to feel guilty at all, but
Thank you.
if you feel guilty, just get another donut. Because it's not looking good. You need one, baby?
Can I get another one? The battery on this one's low. I don't know if it'll.
Is it low or is it off?
It is low.
Okay, well, use it.
Yes, sir.
Do you cuss?
Me?
Yes.
Why?
I'm just wanting to know, do you or not?
Yes.
Is it working out, do you think, or not? I call you back. You don't even know me like that.
I've seen you on Zoom or web conferences.
Well, I'm not bad on that.
He's not.
Am I bad on the web conference?
Not to me. I think you're fine.
Maybe it gets way worse. Get me off the microphone.
My calculator's not turning on. Me too.
See, I brought a couple extras because I was like, oh, you know what, mine ain't gonna work. All right, whose isn't working? One. All y'all's aren't working? See, and you talk about if your batteries are low.
I thought I had a bad. I thought I had a bad.
It's not working out. These things ain't been used in a long time. That's all right, that's all right. I'm not gonna give you a bunch of, does yours work?
This is mine.
Oh, this one. There you go. Wash your hands. Hey, did you sign in, dude? All right, what's your name, man?
Almer.
Who?
Almer.
Almer, okay, cool. Good to see you, Almer. Thank you, baby. All right. I'm gonna go try to get more.
What? Okay, so click this tab on it, right? And go to edit, so just click enter on it. And then you start inputting the values. Okay, so go up, scroll up to where it says L1. L1, wrong way. And then click clear. And click enter.
I thought I launched it back.
Wait, now you just start putting it in.
In order? Are all of them on statistics?
Yeah.
Yes.
Jump it up to.
Yo, my calculator's like coming in and out. It's not gonna last. It's not gonna last. Now what? Put it in? Alright, so what I like to do, I just turn it off and turn it back on because I don't know how to get back to the other screen. So you just click second button and then click on. And then turn it back on. And click stats. And click stats. Go over to calc. Click the left and right arrow. And then click enter. And then just spam enter. And then you get a bunch of values. Enter it like twice. There you go. There you go. That is it.
Sweet. I know, whenever I.
Like, I was excited. I thought I was getting like a lot of people and it's like just us. What? Which students? I didn't realize how tall he is. Towering over me. And I could just be short, but huge. He's gonna get that big.
Burritos. I just found out. So if you click second, you click load,
I can't
it
make
actually
that.
puts it. So you don't have to turn it off and turn it back on.
They won't send.
You have one, wait, did you have one of Miss Children's? Did you Miss Children's? Hold on, I have to think, oh no, all I know is that Miss Children's was like scary.
Not scary.
if you didn't do your homework like me, she was, oh,
Yeah.
no, I didn't want to.
Oh my goodness.
Me and Emmanuel? No.
I don't know, we only had 5 batteries, so somebody's just gonna work. Sorry, guys. We're low budget around here. Alright. So let's go to, what the hell? Is it working or no? Alright, that thing's not working, so we're just gonna have to do it this way. Alright, so we have some data. We have to find the mean, the median, the mode, the standard deviation. So in order to do that, to find the mean, we're gonna add them all together. 8 and 12 is 20, 26, 28, 32, 37, 44, 52, 58. So it's 58 divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the mean is 5.8. Okay? I didn't give you what those numbers represented. So let's just suppose that they represent the number of hours people work on the weekend. I would interpret that by saying, on average, each person works about 5.8 hours. Okay? The median we would find by putting all of these in order. 0, 2, 4, 6, 6. Forgot the 5. 6, 6. 7, 8, 8, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. So looking at the middle number, if there's 10 values, we divide that by 2, we get 5. That means if you get an even number here when you divide, you got to go to the 5th place and the 6th place, add them together and divide by 2. All right? If you use odd numbers, say there was like 19 data points. Then when you divide it by 2, you get 9.5. And then that would be, you would just go to the 10th place at that point. Okay, you would go to the 10th spot. So if you get a decimal here, you round up and go to that place. If you get an exact number, you go to that place plus the next one and divide by 2. So the 5th and 6th place, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 5th place plus the 6th place. the fifth place plus the sixth place, so 6 plus 6 divided by 2. 12 divided by 2 is 6, so we would say the median is 6. So we would interpret that by saying 50% of the people, 50% of the people work less than 6 hours and 50% work more than 6 hours. Okay? For the mode, we're looking for which one came the most. In this case, you'll see that the 6 and the 8 both occur in the same amount. When that happens, we call that bimodal. Okay, and you report both numbers. When that happens, we call it bimodal, we report both numbers. So, if you're going to interpret that, you would say that the most frequently cited answer from the hours people work was a tie between 6 and 8. Okay, don't say most people work 6 to 8 hours, because that's not true. Now, the standard deviation, you would use your calculator for that. You would go to Stat, option number 1 is Edit, and you would put all the numbers in. Once you did that, you would press Stat, Calc, and you would do one variable statistics. Okay? And then press enter and you'll get SX. The piece you're looking for is SX. Alright? Now, they changed the computer, so I don't even have my little virtual TI that I showed y'all. Did anybody download that? Okay, great. Good job. Go team. Can somebody tell me what SX was? 3.4. 3.4? Alright. We good on that? Alright. Now, we're going to keep those same numbers. We're going to keep those same numbers. And what we want to do now is we're going to keep those same numbers. So we're going to keep the 8, the 12, the 6, the 0, the 2, the 4, the 5, the 7, the 8, and the 6. We're going to keep those same numbers, and we're going to find Q1, Q3. This is a look ahead. This is a look ahead to what we're going to talk about next week. Okay, it's one of the benefits of coming on Friday is you get to look ahead with what you're going to see next week, and then in class you sound smart as hell. All right. We're going to do P42, which is the 42nd percentile. We're going to do P42. We're going to do the rank of 9. And you don't know how to do that yet, so just bear with me. And then we're going to do the z-score. We're going to do the z-score for 7. Okay? Now, these 3 you definitely don't know how to do unless you've watched the videos before. If you've seen the videos before, well, then you'll sound smart now. Or if you took, I don't know, maybe you took statistics in high school or something. Okay? So don't feel bad if you don't know how to do it. Just hang out and I'll show you how to do it. Okay? All right. Wish there was a way for me to. We still can't see the damn thing. All right. All right. Precalculus, here we go. So, on the test, you're going to have a certain series of numbers that are, or a certain number of questions that are imaginary number stuff. Okay? Just know that's kind of, we're going to start you out with that. It's supposed to be a review. All right, this whole chapter, this whole stuff is supposed to be a review. So, you got 8 minus 4 That's minus 2i. You'd have to distribute the minus sign. So 8 minus 4. 8 minus 4 is 4. 4 plus 6 is 10. Minus 3i minus 2i is minus 5i. And then minus 5i minus 7i is minus 12i. We good on that? We good on that? Now, this one we're going to distribute. 3 minus 2i times 3 minus 2i is 9 minus 6i minus 6i plus 4i squared. This is going to be 9 minus 12i minus 4. 9 minus 4 is 5. 5 minus 12i. Questions, comments, concerns? Questions, comments, concerns? Now, we've got 7i. Well, let's do the bottom part first. This is 16 minus I squared. So the bottom piece is 16 minus I squared. The top piece is 28i plus 7i squared. I squared is negative 1. So this becomes negative 7 plus 28i over 16 minus negative 1, which is 17. Now, here's the key. For everybody, in intermediate algebra and college algebra, if you're watching, give me a second. I'm going to put some problems up for you. And then you can watch it. But press pause when I do that for you and then try to work the problems yourself. It's multiple choice, so all you really got to be able to do is get your answers to match the ones that you see. Does that make sense? Much different than if it were a free response where you'd have to go, oh shit, how am I supposed to write the answer? Is he going to mark it wrong if I don't write it the way he wants to? This is much easier than that. This is just, here are 4 choices. How do I get my answer to match those answers? So on the test, you're going to see this written in standard form, and the way standard form works is this. Negative 7 over 17 plus 28 over 17i. Okay? That's just the way, that's what standard form means. It means A plus BI form. Okay? And like I say, one of the things that students struggle with is, on the test, I tell them, hey, write your answer in standard form. People come up and go, what's standard form? And I go, I don't know, I forgot. On the test, I get real stupid. Okay? But the best part about being online, you can't even ask me questions. All right? You can text me, but there's, you'd be wasting a lot of time waiting for a response. All right? Any questions on this? All right, let's go next level. Let's go next level. Now, Austin, it's okay to use your hand to wipe the board once, but you can't do it all day. Questions on this? All right. All right, let me give you a problem, and then I'm going to rewrite it over here so you'll have it, but I want to write it here so it's on the screen. I want to go 3x squared minus 7x minus 6 is less than or equal to 0. I want to go 5x squared plus 2x plus 1 is equal to 0. and I want to go 8 minus 3x over 4 plus x is greater than or equal to 0. So write those down. I'm going to write them over here to the side just so we can have them, because I want to use that space for a second. For those of you without glasses, you will never understand the struggle of the mask. Like, you may not like the mask, but you don't understand the struggle.
Every time you exhale,
It's horrible, dude.
it gets foggy.
Every time.
Every single time.
And here's the worst part. If I take my glasses off, I can't even see who's wearing glasses and who's not wearing glasses. I gotta put my glasses on just to see if I can see who's wearing glasses. But the only problem is I only get about 6 seconds to look for it, because then they go foggy again. Dude, the struggle's real, isn't it? Now, one of the people, the cashier, the Publix, told me that if you pull it up all over your nose like that,
That's what my mom does.
you can do that. But then I feel like I look like a librarian, and I'm like, nah, I'd rather have foggy glasses than look like an old librarian. So, anyway, you're gonna try those 3 stats. I'm coming back to you in 1 second. Intermediate algebra, if you're watching at home, and you're not watching now, because I ain't got but one person watching, that's me. I'm not a little bit bitter at all, though. I'm still going to take care of you. If you're in intermediate algebra and you're watching at home, let me tell you, please pause the recording after I write the problem and try to work it yourself. Watching at home. And again, please, all of you, if you're watching this at home, next week I'll have my GoPro working. It'll be a whole lot better. That little webcam isn't too good. Not for this kind of stuff. It's not bad for the live stream on the canvas, but for this it's not too good. But anyway, solve. We're solving this. College algebra, I'm coming to you right next time. 8 minus 2x minus 4 plus 3x equals negative 6x plus 30 plus 7. Eight minus 4 is 4. 8 minus 4 is 4. Minus 2x plus 3x is plus x. So this side is 4 plus x. This side, negative 6x plus 37. You'll combine those. Add 6x, add 6x. 4 plus 7x equals 37. Subtract 4, subtract 4. 7x equals 33. Divide by 7, divide by 7. X is equal to 33 over 7. All right. All right. If you need to keep a hold of it, press pause and look at it some more. Another equation you might be faced with, something that looks like this. Let's go x minus 5 over 3 minus 3x minus 2 over 2, JK. Negative x plus 4 over 6. And we would solve something that looks like that. All right. If you're you're watching this in your college algebra, pay attention because you'll see problems like this as well. We're going to multiply through by 6 to clear these fractions. 3 goes into 6 2 times. So what we have is 2x minus 5. 2 goes into 6 3 times. 3x minus 2. 6 goes into 6 1 time. You get negative x plus 4. This is 2x minus 10 minus 3x plus 6 equals negative x plus 4. Now, combining like terms, 2x and minus 3x is negative x. Minus 10 plus 6 is negative 4. Now, when you move x to the other side, notice that that cancels. What you're left with is negative 4 equals 4. And when that happens, if these two numbers are not the same, if they're not the same, we say no solution. If they are the same, we say all real numbers. All right. All right, any algebra people, I'll be right back with you. You can either keep watching or start skipping ahead. It'll be a little bit of a minute though. All right, stats people, I'm coming to you next, but give me 1 second. If you're in college algebra, you're watching at home, pay attention. This is a graph of f of x. This is the 0. Keep in mind the 0 is the x-intercept. We'll call this point 4 0. We're interested in when is f of x equal to 0, when is f of x greater than 0, when is f of x less than or equal to 0. Again, if you're in college algebra, you're watching at the house, press pause. Try to work it yourself. I'm going to give you the answers. Here we go. F of x equals 0 is at 4. It's where it crosses the x-axis. Where is it greater than 0? It's greater than 0 when it's above the axis. So when you look at this, I always draw a line down the middle. I ask myself, is it positive? Where is it above the axis? On the right side or the left side? If it's on the left side, we start at negative infinity. If it's on the right side, we end at positive infinity. Okay? So anytime it's on the left side, this is my starting point. Anytime we're on the right side, this is my ending point. So where is it above 0? It's above 0 on the left side. So we start with negative infinity. We go to 4. When's it less or equal to 0? At 4. And we go to infinity. All right. At 4 and we go to infinity. One last type of problem similar to that. And then stats, I'm back with you. This is f of x. This is g of x. This is the point negative 3, 1. I can ask, when is f of x equal to g of x? When is f of x greater than g of x? When is f of x less than or equal to g of x? Let's switch that to greater than or equal to and the other one to less than. Those two graphs are equal at negative 3. Again, they're equal at negative 3, so we'll just put negative 3 in the solution set. When is f of x greater than or equal to g of x? This is g of x. This means when is f of x above g of x. F of x is above g of x on the right-hand side. So that's negative 3 to infinity. I'll put a bracket on the negative 3 here. When is f of x less than g of x? F of x is below g of x on the left side. On the left side. So we'll say negative infinity to negative 3. All right? I'm asking you all if you're all good. All right, college algebra, I'll be right back with you. Stats, I'm on you. So we left the same data set. And we asked the question that was, what is it? What is Q1? What is Q3? Percent, 42nd percentile, rank of 9 and z-score 7. So let me write those up. For the record, for all of y'all who are sitting here, if this were a normal Friday and a class is not represented, then I don't do it. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like, even when I live stream, if this is a normal semester where everybody gets to show up if they want to, if your class isn't represented, well, then you all must understand. But because this is limited, then I'm kind of obligated to do it for people who are going to try to watch it from home, if that makes sense. So please bear with me on that, because I know you're sitting there going, there's nobody even here. Well, there's not. They might be at home. Okay? And I had a couple people in intermediate. One doesn't live in town and lives in Point of Order, and one has a small kid that's worried about Corona. So she's like, I would come, but I don't want to, I don't want to risk it, and I can't blame them for that. So please bear with me on that. So the questions that we're asking are, what is Q1? What is Q3? What is P42? What is the rank of 9? And what is the z-score for 7? All right. Now, when I ask you for Q1 and Q3, those actually show up on your calculator. Okay, those are on your calculator. So, I'm going to leave you to give me the answer, because it's just you got to press down, right? So when you bring up the calculator, the first thing you see is x bar, then you see the sum of x, the sum of x squared, sx, sigma x, and you'll see an arrow that points down. If you press the down key, look at that. I mean, that's just top notch right there. If you press the down key, you'll get more information, and part of that information will be Q1, the median, Q3. I think it gives you the end value down there. It also tells you the max and the min values as well. Okay. This is the median. We found that earlier. You're good, baby. This is the median. We found that earlier. Q1 and Q3. Can somebody tell me what it is? 4 and 8. So this, again, is coming from the calculator. All right, that's, again, coming from the calculator. Now, when I do P42, Austin, tell me the truth, Austin.
Yes.
Don't lie now.
Okay.
Have you graduated high school already, or are you still in high school?
I'm still in high school.
What high school do you go to?
I go to Chain Lakes Collegiate High School.
Do y'all have class rank at Chain Lakes, or do you don't have class rank?
Yeah, we do.
Where are you at?
I don't know. I haven't checked it. I've never cared enough.
That's somebody who's just trying to be in the top 50%. You don't care?
No, not really.
What's your name, babe? Who? Caitlin. Caden. collegiate as well? How many of you are in collegiate? Raise your hand. Son of a bitch. So y'all are all here because you're on campus anyway.
No.
Okay, that makes me feel a whole lot better. I'm just thinking like, y'all are just like, you know what? Hell, we gotta be here anyway. Let's go get a donut. So I appreciate you all showing up on your off day.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I used to have a lot of collegiate kids who used to have to leave at 9 o'clock. You don't have to leave at 9 o'clock.
I mean, we don't have to be here at all.
There's no class on Friday?
No.
So in a normal term, all the collegiate kids had to leave at 9 o'clock. They'd come in at 8 o'clock, grab a donut. Work's a problem. They were actually really, really interested in doing what we were doing. But at 9 o'clock, they had a class to get to. So you're not in high school? Do you know what position you were when you graduated?
No, I'm not.
So there's some people who care about this, right? They're like, I think my son's in the top 5. He doesn't even give a shit. He's just like, whatever, Dad, I don't care. And I'm like, senior year, he wants to take like 8 classes in PE. I'm like, dude, it's going to ruin your GPA. He's like, I'll get A's in it. I'm like, yeah, I know, but it'll ruin your GPA. He's like, I don't care. I was in like, 185th out of 200. So, I didn't care either. Me and Austin were in the same boat. I was like, look, all of y'all are going to get the same degree I'm getting, so I don't know why you think you're special. But it's important to some people, right? This percentile is kind of that class rank that you're familiar with, okay? It is, 42% of the people are going to be lower than this number. Does that make sense? 42% of people will be lower than this number. Now, how do you figure out where that's at? Well, what you do is, you take this, and you got to realize that this 42 is 42%. So you convert the 42% to a decimal. So we're going to convert that to a decimal. So 0.42 times, how many data points do we have? We have 10. Okay, we have 10. So 4.2 times, or 0.42 times 10 is 4.2. And then we're going to round this number up to 5. So if we get a decimal, no matter what the decimal is, and next week I'm going to talk to you about what's called the Publix rule, which is what I use for this, all right? But I don't want to ruin that story. It's a great story. It's 4.2. We always round up. So even if it comes out to 4.01, you round up. Okay, even if it comes out to 4.01, you round up. And you go to the 5th place. Now, I don't know what the 5th place is. It's not the 5th place of this, right? Like, you don't do it that way. You got to get it in order first, right? And I had it in order, and then I erased it. That was stupid of me. Okay? So, the 5th place, 1, 2, 3, 4. This, the 5th place is 6, yes? Okay. So, 42% of the people will work less than 6 hours. Okay, 42% will work less than 6 hours. Hey, you can grab another donut. I won't be mad at you.
I'm fine, thank you.
You sure? Okay. It's cheat day, honey. It's cheat day.
No cheat days. Just started this week.
No cheat days. I have cheat years. My son's like, is this a cheat day, Dad? I'm like, honey, it's a cheat week. You know what? Screw it. Cheat month. Rank of 9. Rank of 9. So what the rank of 9 is, it's the percent of values less than 9. It's the percent of values less than 9. So, how many values are less than 9? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The rank of 9 just happens to be 9 values. That is a coincidence. Right now, there's a group of people going like this. So all I gotta do is just write down this number again? No. That is a coincidence. It is 9 out of 10, which is 90%. 9 out of 10, and that's 90%. All right, the z-score for 7. The z-score for 7. All right, what's the z-score for 7? You're going to do 7 minus, you know what, let me write down the formula for you. The z-score is 7. You're going to do x minus x bar divided by the standard deviation. And again, we'll talk about this next week. So for those of you in statistics going, whoa, I came for a review. No, you came for a review and a preview. All right. We're going to talk about this next week. All right. X minus x bar divided by the standard deviation. Okay. So it's 7 minus, what was the mean? 4.8? 5.8. 7 minus 5.8 divided by the standard deviation. What was the standard deviation? 3.4. 3.4. All right. All right. So 7 minus 5.8 is 1.2. 1.2 divided by 3.4 is 12 divided by 34, which is 6 divided by 17, which is 0.35. 2, and then a big number. So let's round that off to 0.35. Is that okay? Yeah, y'all gotta check that kind of shit. Because I'll just write down a bunch of decimals and students go like this. Damn, he's impressive. I'll just be making it up. Alright? Although that one I wasn't making up, that one I actually did too. That one's not too hard. Alright? But some of the other ones would be like really huge square roots. I'll just be like 2.831. Whole class is going. If you don't check it, I'll be right. Alright? People just write it down and they get home later on going, how did you get that number? I sold it though. Alright, any questions on that? Alright, if you're in stats, we're going to stop here. This really is going to take you through test 1. Okay? Test 1 is going to ask you about the mean, the median, the mode, standard deviation, Q1, Q3, percentiles, rank, z-score. Now, the other thing that you need to be aware of, go to YouTube and find my playlist. Okay, you'll see a test 1 review on there where I work all kinds of problems. Go to files and look for test 1 review. All right, I say that, there's people in Precalculus going like this. Hold up. Love you. For the guys in Precalculus, you're going, where's our review? It's in the book. All right, so if you're in stats, we're going to leave you with that, okay? All right, Precalculus friends. Precalculus friends. Let's look at what you got. Let's look at what you got. You got, the first problem was 3x squared minus 7x minus 6 is less than or equal to 0. Less than or equal to 0. If you have one of my calculators, just put it right here, please. And I swear to y'all, if y'all don't take some notes before you leave,
I'll take some.
take them and give them to your brother, give them to your nephew, give them to your,
We're all gonna do it.
shit, give them to your niece. Get her all sugared up and then send her home. Austin, you didn't even get a donut all day today.
No, sir, I'm not.
That cost me $8.50.
Sorry.
Cheat day, Austin. Austin's like, I don't cheat, I eat carrots. I've got celery coming for you next week, Austin.
Thank you for the donuts.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Y'all take care.
Bye.
Now, I know I had 3 or 4 y'all from Precalculus that was supposed to come in here today. So here's the question, do we deny their request next time and be like, you know what, nah, we've already seen how you roll. Hey, Brad, if you're watching this at home, very disappointed in you, Brad.
Was he supposed to come? He probably didn't wake up.
Hey, Brad,
That's why I came late.
hey, Brad, that donut right there, that was for you. That was the Brad special. Extra Fruit Loops. But no, Brad. You had to be all like, where the hell is the problem at?
A little bit higher.
Are you watching on your phone too?
Yeah, I just wanted to see the delay.
Oh, it's about 4 or 5 seconds, I think. You know what would be epic though, if you do, the first session of the semester is never very popular. Like in a normal semester, I might get 15 that will show up. By about week 7,
When they need the help?
after the first test has come back, then they go like this, oh shit, we need help. By about week 13, I'll pack this place in.
Don't make a mistake this semester.
Not the fall term, but the last spring term, and the last fall, I had students that would meet me at the steps down there to get a donut, because they're like, right, there's like 20 people upstairs, I need to get a donut before you get there. Today I can't even get the damn things away. But they'd meet me downstairs and go, can I get a donut before you go up there, because I don't think I'm going to get one. So, they're usually pretty well attended, but the first one's not so much. All right, so, you're going to factor this, 3x plus 2x minus 3. All right, less than or equal to 0. Now, I wanted to do these so we could talk about the sign graph, okay? Because as we progress through the course, this is not going to be 3x squared. This is going to be like 3x to the 5th. And then we're going to have to look at, okay, well, how do I find those zeros? What does this graph look like? How do I set it greater than or equal to 0? So it might become handy to have a sign graph in our pocket, okay? Or to be able to graph it by hand, okay? So kind of why we want to make sure we review this. So if I'm doing this, I've got 2 critical values. One's at 3, one's at negative 2/3. Does that make sense? Now again, if you know that this is a parabola and it's concave up, you can draw that. I mean, for the purposes of the test, and like I need to get a right answer, you're totally fine to draw the parabola and do it graphically. All right? The way I've been doing it,
I do not like graphing.
you know,
Sign graph is like my best friend.
okay. The way I've been doing it is by doing a sign graph. Okay? And plugging in numbers. Now, have you seen the sign graph, or was this your first semester seeing it?
No, I've seen it. I
You
took
see it?
AP Calculus in high school.
Okay. Did you take college algebra? You did. So my son's taking AP Calculus, and
I don't know how, but I managed all A's. The AP test? No, like a 2.
so here's the funny thing: is what I said to him was, he's taking AP Calculus, AP Chemistry. He's really smart.
I was gonna say, he's
Um,
really smart.
Yeah, I mean, I thought he's a dumbass, but he's really smart. And so, he comes home and he says, Dad, he goes, I have AP Calculus, AP Chemistry, and Honors English, something, or Honors English 4 or something on the same day. It's just one day. He's like, it's really, really, really tiring. And I'm trying to like, act like I care well, and tell him to suck it up, buttercup, and do it. But, I told him, I said, look, I get it. So then his counselor says, well, you might be able to take intermediate algebra, college algebra, take intermediate algebra the first 18 weeks and take college algebra the second 18 weeks. And I said to him, I'm like, dude, college algebra might be worse than AP Calculus is. He's like, you think? And I'm like, well, it just depends. It depends on how the AP Calculus teaches the course, what kind of grading system they use. Do they give you credit for doing homework? Do they give you credit for turning in stuff?
This is my first math that hasn't given credit for anything but tests.
I said, you know, you get to a college algebra class and you take it with me, it's only tests, that's it. And if you don't pass the test, you can forget about an A, you'll get an F. And he's like, really? I'm like, dude, college, I don't play around. Like, this is it. You pass the test or you don't pass, one or the other.
I think I took it with Joyce Lee or Lee Joyce.
Joyce Lee, yeah.
And then, can't remember who I took.
Yeah. She's super nice.
She is
Very helpful. I mean, she's, you know, she'll help anybody she can, but,
All mine
you
was
know.
on my math lab, and then I just came to Kansas to take the test.
But like I said, that is the major difference. And I'm like, you know, you take AP Calculus and, you know, the AP exam's no joke, but it don't count against your grade.
I think it's hard.
Yeah, that's what he said. He goes, I heard it was really hard. So anyway, he's gonna stick it out. So we plug in -5. We got 3 times -5 is -15. -15 plus 2 is -13. That's a negative number. -5 minus 3 is -8. That's a negative number. These two multiplied by each other, that's a positive number. Okay? Now, when you plug in a number between -2/3 and 3, call it 0. This is a positive number. 3 times 0 is 0 plus 2 is a positive number. 0 minus 3 is a negative number. So you got a positive number times a negative number, you get a negative number. When you plug in a number to the right of 3, call it 10. 3 times 10 is 30 plus 2 is a positive number. 10 minus 3 is a positive number. That's 7. Positive times positive is a positive number. All right? So when this is asking you when is it less than or equal to 0, it's less than or equal to 0 between -2/3 and 3. We put brackets on those two values to indicate that they're included because it's equal to. Okay? Now,
So if it was greater than or equal to, would
it'd
it
be
be?
negative infinity to -2/3, union 3 to infinity. Okay? All right? You good? Y'all good? All right. Now, we got 5x squared plus 2x plus 1 equals 0. Now, here's the key with that. Here's the key with that. The key with this is it doesn't factor, so you got to use quadratic formula. All right. Steve,
Mr. Drier,
hey,
so
is this Brad?
this is Brad.
Brad, I'm on YouTube right now and you're live.
Am I really?
Do I need to take you off speaker, Brad?
Well, you can keep me on. I got stuck last night on the side of the road and my phone was dead. So I had nobody to call or anything. So I've been out in my car. I just sent you a picture of my car stuck in the mud. It's been a bad night.
Hey, Brad.
Yep.
Hey, I'm in the middle of live streaming right now. Let me hit you back. You're not coming to campus, are you? Because it's getting kind of late.
Yeah, I don't think I'll make it in time. I'm out in all tourist right now.
So I'm not going to put you on the ban list
Okay.
because you had a good excuse. All right, Brad. We'll chat later.
All right. Cheers,
Hey,
brother.
I'm laser focused today, Brad. Laser focused on my diet.
Okay.
If I can get one of these little skinny people to take this last donut for me,
What flavor is it?
Yep.
I don't know. It's your flavor. All right, Brad. We'll talk to you later on.
All right. See you, Mr. Drier.
Poor guy.
Dude, that man's going through it right now, boy.
Poor thing.
Brad is a super good dude. He is a super good dude. 2 squared minus 4 times 5 times 1. thing, I generally won't answer the phone call like that. But I've got all these guys at my house doing work. Hopefully they get done next week. And so I thought, shit, if that's one of the damn construction guys, I don't wanna tell them I'll call you back later. -2 plus or minus 4 minus 20 over 10, yeah? Now, what's interesting about this, and why I wanted to write a problem like this up, is this gets you to an imaginary number, yeah? Which is -2 plus or minus 4i over 10. Is that showing up? Nope.
I think I'm your only viewer.
Yeah, but the issue still comes out to be, for people who watch it later. Again, you know, in a normal situation where Corona's not here and I don't have to limit the size, you know, I generally go with, I'll record it, but if you really want to get it, be here. This is just such a strange time that if, I feel like if I do that, I'm being kind of a jerk. Taking out 2, you get -1 plus 2i over 10. And you get -1 plus or minus 2i over 5. And like I said, when I used the GoPro last semester worked really good. This webcam that I'm using today is not too good. It doesn't have the angle view that the GoPro does, nor is the quality any good. But sometimes when you show up to the restaurant, you eat whatever they have. I mean, you can complain how it's not like Outback, but it's, you eat whatever they have. And then you just don't show back up again, I guess. All right, 8 minus 3x over 4 plus x. 8 minus 3x, I'm going to erase this.
Yes, you're good.
8 minus 3x over 4 plus x
Plus or greater than or equal to.
is greater or equal to 0. So again, this one we're using the same ideas. -4, 8/3. Now, for those of you that are watching at home, you can't see the problem. All right. You're basically setting each of these equal to 0. That's how we're getting these 2 points. Okay? Now, number to the left of -4, call it -20. This is negative, because you got 4 minus 20, or 4 plus -20, if you will. So the bottom is negative. The top is positive. Positive divided by negative is a negative. Plugging in a number like 0. When you plug in 0, 8 minus 3 times 0 is a positive number, that's 8. 4 plus 0 is a positive number, that's 4. And then, number to the right, call it 50. 4 plus 50 is positive. 3 times 50 is 150, that's definitely negative. Alright, so when's it greater or equal to 0? It's greater than or equal to 0 from -4 to 8/3. Now, here's the critical part.
One's a parenthesis.
Yes, the -4 is a parenthesis,
The denominator can't be.
because the denominator cannot be 0, exactly. Denominator cannot be 0, so -4 is not included. 8/3 can be included, it's in the top part. Okay, if you have a hard time remembering, I use the okay and no method. If 0 is on top, that is okay. If 0 in the bottom, no, you can't do that. Okay? All right. Now, what I would like to do while you're still here is let's switch this number right here. We'll do the same problem, but let's switch it from a 0 to a 2. Okay? I'm going to do some intermediate algebra, college algebra stuff. So switch that to a 2, and then we're going to work it again, okay? And that will be y'all's last problem. All right, 10:33, I'm on you. If you're watching, tune in now. All right? What I want to do is find the slope, the x-intercept, and the y-intercept for 8x minus 2y equals 24, y equals 3x minus 9, and x equals 12. All right. Give me 1 second, I'll be right back.
I didn't even try.
You do the cross thing, you minus the 2 over, and then you have to get 4 plus x on top of that 2.
Okay.
And then whenever I got 8 minus 3x minus 2 parentheses 4 plus x. But whenever I multiply it out, I got 8 minus 3x minus 8 minus 2x, which would give me 0 minus 5x is less than or equal to 0, or greater than or equal.
Do we have a 0 in the...
I have no idea. I've not seen one myself.
Multiply by the reciprocal.
Oh wait, I know how to do it. You have to keep the 4, once you get this, you got 8 minus 0.
Oh, dude, this is a cinnamon roll. Dude, it's so good.
I'll take it.
I mean, I was gonna say that about any of them, but like for real, that one's legit. All right, intermediate algebra, here we go. To find the slope of an equation, what you have to do is solve for y. Now, understand this, that when I say solve for y, and I'm talking about the slope, when I say solve for y and I'm talking about the slope, let me go grab another pen. When I say solve for y, and then when I say, solve for y here, I'm talking about two totally different processes, okay? And even in Precalculus, you're going to notice this sometimes. We use the same phrase and use it differently in different applications, okay? And it gets really confusing for people. All right, so when I say solve for y and I'm talking about the slope, I mean literally move the 8x over and divide by the negative 2. So negative 2y equals negative 8x plus 24. So in essence, you're subtracting 8x from both sides. And then you're dividing by negative 2. Now don't be a dropper. All right, droppers are people who drop off that negative sign when you move the 8x over. All right, a lot of people will move the 8x over and then they drop off the negative. All right. Never thought I'd see the day I'd use the monitor as a tripod. It's shaky. So y equals 4x minus 12. Now, once you get to here, you have the y-intercept and you have the slope. The y-intercept is negative 12. The slope is 4. Now you're going to notice I don't put 4x. I just put 4. All right. Now, how do you find the x-intercept? The x-intercept is found by plugging in y as 0 and solving for x. So your x-intercept is 3. Okay, your x-intercept is 3. Now, for the second one, the slope is 3. The y-intercept is negative 9. That's right off of the y equals mx plus b webpage. All right. To find the x-intercept, you're going to plug in y as 0. And you're going to solve for x. And this is your x-intercept. Damn, that's crazy. Same in both ones. That's a coincidence. All right. The slope of vertical lines, the slope of a vertical line is undefined. The slope of a horizontal line is 0. You can remember that because if you spell horizontal, it has a 0 in it. All right. So the slope is undefined. The x-intercept is 12. Okay. This is 12, 0. And notice that it does not cross the y-axis at all. So the y-intercept does not exist. Okay. All right. Intermediate algebra, I'm going to stop you all there for those of you who are watching. If you're watching and you'd like to have space here live, great donuts today. I'm just going to say that I think they were great. I didn't have one. Laser focus on my diet right now until I go to Culver's later. then it's all bets are off after that. Have you had Culver's?
I don't live in Winter Haven anymore.
Listen to me. Okay, I'm just speaking from the heart right here. Okay? If you die and you're not sure whether you're in heaven or you're hell, I want you to look around. If you see Cheesecake Factory and Culver's,
Oh, Cheesecake Factory.
if you see Cheesecake Factory and Culver's, you're in heaven.
Got it. I
Okay.
remember that.
If you see Burger King, ho ho ho! Burger King and Wendy's, you're gonna be waiting for eternity.
Yeah, no, Cheesecake Factory is great.
I went to a conference in Denver, and my hotel was like 2 blocks from Cheesecake Factory. I don't want to say it, but I ate there 3 days in a row. I mean, because I just looked around and I was like, should I go somewhere else? Nope.
Why would you?
Why would you? I did get different cheesecake every night, though. I wanted to kind of, expand my horizons.
Favorite red velvet.
Girl,
You like that one or
the
no?
red velvet is the best.
Okay, good.
That is like my go-to. That's my go-to soul food. Like, I've had a really bad day and I need something to make me feel better. It's definitely red velvet cheesecake. Salted caramel's pretty good too, but red velvet's the best, in my opinion. People in college algebra. People in college algebra, let's look at this. Let's look at this. All right. I'm going to give you 8, -4, 6, 12, and I'm going to ask you for the distance in the midpoint. The distance, square root, y2 minus y1 squared plus x2 minus x1 squared. All right. So this is 12 minus -4 squared. And 6 minus 8 squared. Negative and negative is positive. So this is the square root of 16 squared plus -2 squared, yeah? 16 squared is 256 plus 4. So this is the square root of 260. All right, so when you break that down, 260 is 2 times 130. 130 is 2 times 65. 65 is 5 times 13. 2's come out. The 65 will stay because 5 and 13 are both prime. All right, midpoint. Midpoint. Midpoint, we're going to add those 2 points together and we're going to divide by 2. 8 and 6 is 14. 12 and -4 is 8. Divide by 2, the midpoint is 7, 4. All right. For those of you that were in college algebra, my bad. It's right there. Roughly right there. All right. If you're in college algebra, you can go ahead and check out. Let me just remind you that we do have room for you here. All right, there's always room for you at this table, so please, 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 if you want to make it on a Friday morning, send me a message, let me know. We'll get you here live. All right, with that being said, we're going back to Precalculus for one final problem. We had 8 minus 3x over 4 plus x said greater than or equal to 2? All right. This throws people off, okay? And you guys waited around on a Friday morning, so I'm gonna go ahead and give you a little secret. This shit's on the test. Okay, I haven't made it yet. Not this problem, okay?
Just one like that.
Just one like that, yeah. All right, I mean, I can't tell you what problem's on there because I haven't written it yet, but when I get home, I'll write it. And I'll try to get it online by 12, all right? And the hands up a lesson professor, that'd be a problem, all right? I'm pretty skilled at what I do.
And you said there's like 20 questions on the test?
As I sit here right now, I sit here it's about 20. If I start writing it, there might be about 12. I say that because I got a lot to do today, so I'm gonna try to get it done. All
I
right.
mean, I'm not taking it right at 12. I'll study and do more homework before I take it.
Did you see I posted homework problems for 1, 6, and 1, 8?
Oh, no, I did not.
So those are, it's under an announcement for your class.
Or-
Those sound
I
like,
was just about to ask you that too.
Yeah, somebody asked me about it, and
That was me.
I don't want to tell you this, but I woke up at 1 o'clock thinking
Yeah.
about it, and then I was like,
that's
were
not-
you up?
Yeah, I was up.
Okay, I've been sleeping for 4 hours. I ain't gonna lie to you about that. What's that?
I was the one that asked, but I was not about.
Yeah, a couple people asked me about it, but,
Okay.
and I told, was it you I told I would get on it when I got home?
You said it would be a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I didn't mean 1 o'clock in the morning. I kind of forgot about it, and then I woke up and I was like, oh shoot, I didn't give them those problems.
It's really weird, like, I thought I got a notification or something else, and I saw
Yeah.
no problems.
Yeah, when you get old, this is what happens, dude. You go to bed at 9:30 and then you wake up at 1. You're not sure what happened, but you do know you gotta go to the bathroom. All right. That's what it waits for you, buddy. Have another donut. So I cross multiply here as my method. 8 minus 3x minus 2, 4 plus x over 4 plus x. Greater than or equal to 0. 8 minus 3x minus 8. Oh, that was convenient. Minus 2x. What's that?
It confused me at first, then I realized it was
Over 4
0.
plus x. All right. All right, so now, these cancel, you get negative 5x over 4 plus x, yes? So here are values that we're going to be plugging in. Are 0, and negative 4. All right. To the left of negative 4, call it negative 8. Negative 5 times negative 8 is positive 40. So this top part's a positive number. 4 minus negative 8, or 4 plus negative 8 is negative 4, so that's a negative number. So on that side we have negative. And between negative 4 and 0, call it negative 2. This is positive, this is positive. So this is a positive number. To the right, call it 6. Negative 5 times 6 is a negative number. 4 plus 6 is a positive number. So at 6, we have a negative. So we're looking at negative 4 to 0, where in this case, 0 gets the bracket, negative 4 gets a parenthesis. All right, we good?
Quick question.
Yes, please.
The ones with absolute value where you have to graph it.
Okay.
Can you do one of those?
Yeah. By special request, we look at a new problem.
Well,
we got absolute value 3x plus 2 less than, you know what, yeah, let's do less than 6. Okay? So when you do a problem like this, when it's greater than, less than with absolute value, you're going to have to draw a V and put a line through it.
At 6.
Say it again, please.
At 6.
Yeah, the line would be at 6, and the V would be, in this case, the V is shifted to the left 2/3. Right? But, you know, a lot of times, what's your name, honey?
Alyssa.
Alyssa, you don't have kids, do you?
No.
Okay. Well, when you do, you're going to realize that at some point in your life, you're going to tell them this. I'm going to do this, but I don't want you to do it. Okay? My son's 17, he works with me a lot. And I'll hold a board and I'll cut it. And I'll be like, dude, don't you do this shit. If you do it, you're going to cut your finger off. I've been doing it for a long time, and, so I'm telling you that the way I do it may not always be the best way, but it's the most efficient way to get it done, if that makes sense. So a lot of times when I'm dealing with problems like this, I'll solve it 3x plus 2 equals 6, 3x plus 2 equals negative 6.
And then that's where we get where it's on the
Yes.
the 2.
So we get this. Okay? And then if I'm doing this on my own, like if I'm just in my office and somebody tells me to do it, well, I'd probably just do it in my head and I don't even worry about it. But if I was going to do it on paper, what I would do is just go, I would draw a V like this, I throw a line here, and I go 4/3, negative 8/3. You see what I'm saying? Because let's be honest, where this thing shifts to the left 2/3, it functionally doesn't matter. It's not part of the problem. Does that make sense? And so worrying yourself about, does it shift to the right 5? Does it shift to the left 3? Is it 2? It functionally makes no difference because the only two numbers you're really interested in are these two numbers. Does that make sense?
And then if that's on the test, we have to graph it like that? Or,
But see, again, we got to talk about the environment that we're in. The environment that we're in is, your test is multiple choice.
okay, so,
And it's totally online. Now, you are going to be required to send me your work. Okay? And I think I said this the first day. I will look at your work, and I will say, okay, does this work resemble stuff that we did in class? Does that make sense? Because when I start seeing stuff that's outside of what we did, if it's mathematically correct, it's fine with me. But if it looks like it came off of photomath, right? Because photomath, what people don't understand is that photomath has a certain way of writing the answers that's relatively unique to the way photomath does it. And so when I see the way the answers get written, I immediately know, no, that's not how I would do it. And so then that elicits a phone call, right? Hey, Alyssa, talk to me about how you did number 7. Here's a new problem. How would you solve this one? And now I'm FaceTiming you. We're on Zoom. We're on Canvas. We're on iPhone, FaceTime, and now you're in a real spot. Because if you did do photomath, you're screwed, right? And what you're not really allowed to say is, I just don't remember. Shit, it was just a day ago. It was like 8 hours ago. Don't tell me you don't remember. Like, that's not, I'll give you a new problem if I need to. I'll say, okay, fine, don't do that one, do this one. But you and I both know if you did it, the problem don't make any difference, right? And so I just draw it like this. I don't even draw an axis usually. I just draw a V and throw a line in it, okay? Now, when's it less than 6? From negative 8/3. From negative 8/3 to 4/3. Okay? Now, pay attention if this is a negative number.
then
right? I mean, we're into overtime here a little bit, but pay attention if it's a negative number. If it's a negative 6, it's not flipped. You see, if I say to you, when is the absolute value of 3x plus 2 less than negative 6? That's a V, but negative 6 is well beneath it. Does that make sense? See, remember the absolute value starts at 0 and goes up. Right? So negative 6 is well below that 0. Does that make sense? And so if I said to you, well, when's it less than negative 6? Well, hell, it's never going to be less than negative 6. Does that make sense? Now, I could say, when's it greater than negative 6? And then that becomes negative infinity to infinity, because it's always greater than negative 6. So there's some subtleties there that you really got to pay attention to. Okay, there's some subtleties there that you really got to pay attention to. All right, did y'all have anything else? Are you sure? You're the one who woke up on a Friday. I mean, I was going to get up regardless.
I was up at 6:30.
I was up at 1:19, putting out homework problems.
You stayed up the whole time?
No, heck no.
Oh,
No, heck no.
I think that's it.
I was trying to watch TV, and then the president came on, and I fell asleep.
Oh, how does honor lock work? You don't, like, as soon as I go into the testing canvas, is it automatically gonna
Yeah, it's
pop up?
automatically going to load. And then how it works, Alyssa, I don't have any idea.
I was told
I
you
don't
to, like,
know,
hold
I
it
don't-
and, like, take a tour of your room and everything.
That's if I choose that option. I don't always choose that option.
Okay, because I've never used honor lock in any of my classes.
Okay, so here's the way it works. I assume that they have a program that monitors you in your room.
Okay.
Okay? And I get a report back that tells me, okay, Alyssa took the test. She started it at 2 o'clock on Friday afternoon. She finished it at 3:16. And then it basically just flags you and says, 4 minutes into the test, Alyssa was talking to somebody.
Okay.
6 minutes into the test, somebody came into the room. If you're doing something that, let's say you keep checking your phone, then they'll have a proctor who actually comes into the test session and says, excuse me, please put your phone down. Like, they'll come on and tell you. Because one of my basketball players took my class over the summer. He had a hoodie on. And the proctor came in and said, take your hoodie off.
Okay.
And he looked at the dude like, who the fuck are you?
Right.
And he left it on, and the guy came back and was like, you need to take your hoodie off. And eventually, I think he just took it off and was like, okay, this is kind of creepy.
Yeah.
So that's what happens.
Okay.
And so, and then essentially what I get is a link that allows me to go back and watch
Our computer screen?
your computer screen. I'll get to watch you. I get to hear your microphone. I get to hear anything you talked about. I had one girl last semester. It's kind of cute. She talked herself through all the problems. And so she would be like, okay, so absolute value 3x plus 2 is greater than negative 6. So the absolute value I have to set equal to plus or minus. Like, she was just talking herself through the whole thing.
I'll do that sometimes whenever I'm confused. I have to talk myself through each.
And so, she would always get this major flag, right? Like, they would send it back to me like, this girl cheated for sure. And then I'd go back and watch the video, and I'm like, no, it's actually okay. She wasn't talking to anybody in particular. She was just talking herself through the problem. So that's what happens.
Okay, that makes sense.
Now, how it works, I mean, is there like, do you click on the test and it says install this? I don't have any idea.
Okay.
Is that what happens? I mean, I don't know. Have you ever used it?
Yeah, I haven't either.
I mean, we're going to find out.
Okay.
Okay? And if you feel so inclined, tell me. So next time somebody asks me about it, I'll know. I know that it's never been a big deal.
Okay. Now, I was told if you, like, look away from the screen, it pauses your whole test.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And, like the important thing is, the bottom line is what I'm really trying to get students to avoid doing is cheating. I mean, that's number one. I would say obvious answer, but I had a kid in intermediate when I switched to the spring, and I didn't require honor lock. And it was kind of on your honor. Just please don't cheat. And so, but I get a report for that too. And so it told me that this kid was on the browser off the browser 63 times.
Oh, so like majorly going to look up the answer.
Yes, like was going to the problem, looking it up, then jumping onto YouTube, trying to find an answer, then jumping back, you know what I'm saying? And I asked him, I'm like, what were you doing? And he just told me, Mister, I didn't know, and I thought we could try to look it up. So I was all over the internet trying to find the answers.
Was this on Canvas?
Yeah, it was on Canvas. So honor lock kind of stops that. Okay. Any other questions?